on behalf of all party parliamentary on third world solidarity who work for peace, justice and tolerance. And our secretary is sitting here, Anas Server, and he will be elected again on 19th of November for next year as well. Keith, Yasmin and David Ward are supporters of this organization which works for peace, justice, tolerance in the world. We are very pleased to be here to host this event for Fatima Patel, who is going to take over from me in a minute, for Asian Sunday, to welcome Asian Sunday to London, including all our guests. And I hope next year, when we celebrate the first anniversary of Asian Sunday, a successful magazine, it has crossed all the big newspapers numbers, and it has reached million, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million, who knows. But I hope Fatima does hard work as she has done in Bradford, and there was Asian Style and now Asian Sunday. So can I once again welcome you all? And I tell you, I had written a speech, but I'm not speaking it because I've left it for Fatima. So can I ask Fatima to run the meeting this evening?
Thank you. One of the other reasons why we're late, it's not just because of the politicians. We always blame them for everything. I had a little... No, I was going to say I was behaving like a celebrity today. I fell and I hurt my knee a little bit, so hence why I'm looking like very shorty in front of all these lovely, beautiful and tall people. But anyway, welcome to the official launch ceremony of Asian Sunday London. A huge thank you to those who have travelled hundreds of miles, thousands for some, obviously, to be here today. And a very special thank you to London for being so kind, warm, and welcoming my team and I here today. In particular, I want to thank East London because that's where I've been living for the last 3 months, where I've been doing my research and setting up the country's first free Sunday newspaper. Mainly because obviously because they've been so welcoming, but they've also helped me add a couple of extra words to my dictionary. One of them being "in it." I almost said that right for those Cockney people out there. Anyway, Asian Sunday started as a passion for me in Bradford just a little over 2 years ago. I set out to create a publication that was diverse, inclusive, and spoke about the real and not stereotyped issues surrounding the South Asian community living in the UK. Little did I know that what started off as an experiment today has become the most diversely read newspaper. Yes, I say diversely because it's not just the Asian community that read our newspaper. Fortunately, we've been able to reach out to the wider community and have been very successful in helping them learn more about South Asian community, how they live, their lifestyle, how they work, and their business here in the UK. However, the newspaper in Bradford has had its fair shares of controversies, and at one point there were threats where my team, my family, and I needed police protection. However, looking back today, I'm glad my team and I were bold and brave to say it how it was. Because today, those same people are avid supporters of our newspaper. I think that's what you call community cohesion. It has been a challenging journey so far, and there will probably be more challenges ahead. But what makes us overcome that is, I guess, the South Asian spirit, the support and unconditional love that we receive from our families, and obviously we all know we have extended families as well. And I'm glad that today I have two great families, Bradford and now London. I hope you will all welcome the Asian Sunday London newspaper and continue providing my team and I with the support and warmth that we have received so far. Asian Sunday has also been an avid supporter of good work and ethics. Today, as we celebrate our launch ceremony at the House of Commons, we want to use this platform to honour those who have helped put not only our city on the global map with their work in music and entertainment, but also commend the work of people back home, places like India, Pakistan and Bangladesh, because the new generation back home, through their work, are able to show us that stereotypes are being broken and we're not just doctors and solicitors. Before I go on and bore you even more, I would now like to welcome another inspiration actually, the youngest councillor, female Muslim councillor I believe, Councillor Rabia Bhatti, who will start the honouring process of our special guests who are coming exclusively for the Asian Sunday London Newspaper Lodge. Please welcome Councillor Rabia Bhatti. Thank
you. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. First of all, I'd like to say for once, politicians weren't the ones who weren't on time. Secondly, I would like to start my address by first of all thanking Ms. Patel for bringing us all here together tonight to celebrate the landmark launch of the Asian Sunday newspaper. I first met Ms. Patel and became aware of the Asian Sunday newspaper in Bradford when I was invited for the Inspirational Woman Awards. It was a ceremony that is set up to honour inspirational women in the Bradford community who work hard and dedicate their time and commitment into bettering their community in order to strengthen our society as a whole. It is with that ethos and those values and principles that I welcome the Asian Sunday newspaper to our vibrant city of London. I know that the Asian Sunday newspaper will indeed bring that ethos, those very values and principles that I just spoke about to our vibrant city of London. And we will see glimpses and snapshots of that here today in this very room as we start the honouring process of three fantastic individuals who have done exemplary works in their own respective fields, be that in global international cinema, be that in music, a language that crosses boundaries and barriers, be that in engaging and interacting with people from all walks of life in so many different ways, in so many innovative ways of communication. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I know that you will welcome me and join me in wishing the Asian Sunday newspaper the very best of success, not only for today or the months to come, but for the many decades that this newspaper will live on. So please join me in a round of applause before we start the honours process. Please invite Keith to say a few words and then we'll start our reading process.
Thank you very much. What a wonderful speech from our young councillor. I think a round of applause to her. I am going to be very brief because there are other parliamentarians here, but also because I know that you probably come not to hear from the politicians, but to hear from Karina, Kimberly, and I think incorrectly called Dynamite. I know this is Diwali, we should have fireworks, but not necessarily dynamite. Look, it's a huge honour for us to be here today, and I'm delighted that Anil Sawa, the Deputy Leader of the Scottish Labour Party, Yasmin Qureshi and David Ward, the MP for Bradford, are here. And I know that many more Members of Parliament would have come to this event had we known that Karina was going to be here, because I am a huge fan of Karina Kapoor, and I'm so glad that when I asked her just now if she was going to enter politics, she said no, because I certainly don't want her standing in Leicester East against me, because she's such a wonderful and popular figure. But we are in a very historic room. This is the Boothroyd room that is named after the first woman Speaker of the House of Commons. And normally, as I was explaining to Karina, Members of Parliament sit on this side in the committees and our witnesses sit on the table over there and we ask them questions. So it's unusual to be having someone of all three of our stars here today on this side of the dais. But Fatima, can I just say this? I think what you have done in bringing this newspaper from Bradford to London and launching it here in the House of Commons is extremely important, and indeed I could say historic, because I know we in the Asian community and I've now been in this place for 26 years, tend to stop reading newspapers, or we thought people had stopped reading newspapers, and they've gone on to the digital media and onto television and Facebook and all these other aspects of social media. But actually, at the end of the day, the newspaper is the document of record, and everyone really does want to be in your newspaper. I'm a bit jealous of David Ward, because I think there are 3 pictures of David in this newspaper, probably because it comes from Bradford.
Don't worry, Keith, I've sent the reporters to you.
Good. But I think that we've got a marvellous community, 2.5 million people of Asian origin in Britain, building our great cities like Glasgow, Bolton, Bradford, Leicester and London. And it's great that we've got now a newspaper that's going to be able to do that on a Sunday. I should acknowledge the presence of CB Patel, where is CB, and Asian Voice, which of course does not publish on a Sunday, it publishes on a Friday, and all the other Asian media who are here today, Mr. Rao from the Press Trust of India, NDTV, etc. But we've never had a Sunday Asian newspaper before, and I certainly look forward to reading it when I open my Sunday Times and Anant opens his Scotland on Sunday and all these other newspapers. So from my point of view, thank you for coming here, flying all the way from India, and all our other stars who we know and love dearly in the United Kingdom. The best of luck for the future, and I can promise you that I will encourage people in Leicester, which of course, just to make a bid for Leicester, has more people of Asian origin than any other city in the whole of Europe. I know that people in Leicester will be very keen to read your paper there, but the best of luck and best wishes. I'm sorry I can't stay to the end of these celebrations, but I need to get back for another engagement. But you have my full support and my great affection for what you're doing. Thank you very much.
As MP to honour Karina Kapoor Khan for her contribution to global cinema and reaching out in particular to the UK audiences here.
We have
all the MPs here on behalf of the British government to honour Mrs. Karina Kapoor Khan here at the House of Commons.
I think Yasmin can speak.
Yes, she is. She's Wednesday.
Congratulations. Could we ask?
May we ask?
Kimberly and Dynamite to speak. Kimberly.
It's really bonfire and everything.
Dynamite. We are looking to have a magic I'm a big fan. Could we see at the camera once again, Keith? Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. May we now ask Mrs. Karina Kapoor Khan to now say a few words. Thank you very much.
Can we, Karina, swap the microphones? Yes, please. Yes.
In front of the camera.
Well, I've noted a few points there. That's good. And I get to sit next to Mr. Baz, so I'm
Well, good evening, everyone. Well, I don't know, but I'm prepared to speak because it's the first time that I've come to the House of Commons. So, well, just very, very casually. I mean, last night when I was sitting with my husband, obviously I told him that I was coming here and I was going to be honored. So he looked at me and he was like, well, I've studied in England, I've been to Manchester, and I haven't been honored. Why are they honoring you? So I said, yeah, but I'm just probably my body of work is a little more interesting.
We do power, that's what it is.
But well, there's always been a special relationship between India and England. and over the years I think the bond has just grown stronger. And for all the Indians who spread all over the world, I think United Kingdom is one place where we Indians feel like a home away from home. Well, it's, I think, one of my most favorite destinations to actually film a movie. Not because the government offers us 40% rebate back, but I think also because I think everyone's just so helpful and so kind. And thank the human being who created Selfridges. It's also one of my most amazing places to just shop. I think my family and England have a deep connect. My great-grandmother was British. My father-in-law was actually the first Indian to cricket, the first Indian to cricket, to captain the cricket team in Oxford University. Like I mentioned earlier, Seth was in Winchester. Jennifer Kindle, who was Mr. Kindle's sister, married Shashi Kapoor. And of course then there's me, who neither went to school or college in London, but ended up at Madame Tussauds. Of course, I don't think the English have been kinder to me. So and to any possible Indian. For me, it's like a very big thing. So, just like to thank everyone out here for being so kind to have me here. I'd like to thank Fatima Patel, Mr. Vaz, everyone who's just been so wonderful and made this, I never expected it to be so casual. I'm happy it's like this, so you all can get to know me better. So thank you and all the best for, your newspaper, which I think should feature a lot of me. I'm from page now that I've come, but I think just thank you all and, great to all the Asians who made it out here. And I feel like home, and I'm happy that I'm all amongst all of you all today. So have a great day.
Unfortunately, Mrs. Tan has to leave early. Sorry, I'm going to sing Mrs. Tan.
No, please.
So please, can you all give her one more round of applause? And obviously to reaching out to the UK audience in particular because of her work. She's, I've loved her films. I've been a huge fan of Karina's, and the reason why I've been a huge fan is because this lady, every movie of hers is different, and she goes against the norm, which again is similar to the ethics of our newspaper. We go against the norm, and so obviously we wanted to honour those who also do that. So once again, a big thank you, and wishing you all the best. I believe that you have a film coming up, so I'd like to wish you all the best. Thank you so much. We have the deputy leader in the take a seat next to me.
That's right.
Because the next honouring will now be done for, again, some absolutely wonderful people. And these people are very close to my heart because they are from the city that I come from, which is Bradford. Obviously, we're the Bradford girls. It's absolutely wonderful to see people who have done so well and put our city truly on the map, on the international map, through music or obviously through magic. So I'd now like to invite our Deputy Leader of Bradford Council to firstly say a few words and obviously then start the honouring process for Kimberly Walsh and Diana Boat on Dynamite. Thank you.
Could you close the door, please?
Good evening, friends. I'm absolutely delighted to be attending Asian Sunday's London launch and actually to be celebrating Bradford's very impressive talent. Not only the talent we're here to launch today, but the talent Bradford has that's present with us here today. Two of the most, I think, famous and Bradfordians that we do think have made an international impact, both Dynamo and Kimberly Walsh. And it's great to see a media organisation from Bradford trailblazing in London. Asian Sunday, which started in Bradford 2 years ago, is a triple trailblazer. It is the first free Sunday paper in the UK, the first ever Asian Sunday paper in the UK, and the first UK Asian media title to be solo owned by a woman, Fatima Patel. An Asian Sunday has had unprecedented success since it was launched in Bradford 2 years ago. It has reported accurately and responsibly on the key issues affecting our city and indeed our country. It has strengthened local democracy through balanced and inquiring editorials, holding elected representatives and others to account. It has celebrated Bradford's many cultural and community success stories. It has fostered and strengthened our good community relations across our diverse communities, and focusing on our common values and experiences rather than our differences. And it's been informative, interesting, and a very entertaining read. With these qualities and talents, I'm absolutely convinced that Asian Sunday will be equally successful in our capital city. London, alongside Bradford, is privileged to have Fatima Patel and is privileged to have Asian Sunday.
Deputy Leader Councillor Imran Hussain. May I now ask our MP for Bradford East, Mr. David Ward, to come here and say a few words before we start the honouring Kimberly.
Well, thank you very much indeed. I'm just knocked you over, I've just bashed your other knee in there.
I'm just trying to stay stable.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to do this. I've got a confession to start with. So some here will know what I mean when I say that I'm not confident, actually. I was not confident in Bradford. I was, I suppose, convinced that it was the best place for me to go to pursue a university course. And I was 35. I actually went for 1 year 35 years ago. So it's got its way of getting its hooks into you as Bradford. It almost gets into your blood. And in some ways, and we've had some difficulties over the years, in some ways it's more difficult to get, some more interesting it does get. And I can't contemplate ever leaving. I am pleased that you mentioned the Inspiration Women's Awards as well, because I do think the Asian women in the community are the great untapped resource within the city. I think it is still something we have yet to see unleashed as a contribution to the growth and development of Bradford, and it is happening more and more. And I expect that to continue in the future. I think people who are from, and I am immensely proud of the people of Bradford, because one thing it has got is some terrific people who day in, day out, particularly in the voluntary and the community sector, which has got a very strong voluntary community sector, are day in, day out making a massive contribution to the district. And they're not doing it for £1 million bonus at the end of the year. They're doing it because they have a passion and a commitment to the district. So we have so much that is good, so much that we have to sing about. And this is another thing. And I'm really, really delighted that we've given something else to the country. And I'll finish really by talking about Fatima really. My background was a university lecturer in training and development. That was the area that I specialised in. And we often, trainers used to running programs, and there used to be often just an awkward one, a difficult one. Somebody that you just couldn't, no matter how much you tried, whatever interventions and techniques, there was just one. And we used to just say, this isn't a training issue. It's just something we cannot do. With Fatima, it's the flip side. It's actually the reverse, because she will no doubt be embarrassed by all the compliments, and she will no doubt say that it wasn't just me. I've been supported by lots of other people as well.
He knows me well.
But also with Fatima, you just know that nothing would have stopped her. It's not a training issue. She didn't need training. No doubt it's helped along the way. She's developed her skills, but nothing was going to stop Fatima. And I just wish that we could bottle that and make more of it and pass it around, because we do need in Bradford more people with creativity, initiative, drive, and self-confidence in a difficult community to provide the leadership. And that's what this is. It is leadership of a very, very high order. So, thank you, congratulations, but more than that, really, a big, big passion. Thank you very much.
Absolutely lovely, and he does know me very well, because I am going to say it's a team effort. Well done to my team who are out there somewhere. Can't see everybody because of all the cameras. So obviously we're now going to start the honouring process of Kimberly Walsh and Dynamo. I don't know how many of you actually know Dynamo's real name. Let's see if anybody knows here. So close. Well done, actually. That's good. You've got something. Stalker. I'm joking. We're going to start off with Kimberly Walsh. And you know, it's absolutely great for me sometimes to be able to stand here. Like David said, you know, being a woman, we have our challenges, and I think it's not just down to a particular community. It's not just within the Asian community. It's women in general. I think we, because we have to balance the workplace with the home place, it's often a little bit difficult for us. But you know what? We're absolutely fantastic at multitasking, and we prove it time and time again. And you know, obviously Kimberly, for me, when I heard that a girl from Bradford has made it, and Girls Aloud is now the biggest pop band ever, it was, you know, absolutely fantastic to hear that. And you know, I followed the journey of the band for years. I've got the CDs, the albums. And then it was absolutely lovely to then, following on from all those years of, you know, looking at somebody that's really made it, put Bradford on the global map, and then to be able to interview her years later. I personally didn't get the opportunity, my sub-editor did, and he definitely really rubbed it in my face because I was on holiday. He said, guess who I just interviewed? And he obviously told me, and I was so gutted that I didn't get a chance to speak to you myself. But obviously I'm here alongside Kimberly, and you know, I'd like to ask Kimberly to come here and say a few words before obviously we get the deputy leader, David Watt, to stand alongside Diana and Kimberly, and obviously get you lovely press people, some lovely pictures. So, ladies and gentlemen, Kimberly Walsh.
As some of you probably do know, and definitely now by the accent, I am from Bradford. I was brought up in Bradford, and it's an incredibly multicultural and diverse city, and I think, to be honest, that really has shaped me as a person. I really do think that, you know, it's given me a great grounding to survive in this crazy industry that I've chosen to be in, and I've always been very, very proud of coming from Bradford, and this is a huge, huge honour for me, so I just want to thank everyone so much, and to say congratulations to you, Fatima, and good luck with the newspaper. I'm sure it'll be an amazing success. Thank you.
hopefully, as we've witnessed, people know Dynamo very well. Mine's first name, Stephen. This guy just amazes me. I'm sure he amazes you all as well. With some of his magic, it's truly magic. You know, I'm bowled over when I see some of his things on TV. And then to know that he's actually from my city, it's a double honour. And obviously now for him to be sat next to us at our official launch, you know, what could anyone ask for? I was really struggling when I had to think of a few things to say of how to introduce Dynamo, because just like all our other celebrities, all of them are absolutely amazing, and you know, whenever I see his work, see what he's done, see what he's achieved, not just nationally but internationally, I'm just left speechless, and therefore my introduction to Dynamo today is speechless as well. So before I say anything that's going to make me look stupid, I'd like to now invite Dynamo, also known as Stephen, to come and say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you. How's everyone doing? You alright? Yeah. Are we good at the back there? Yeah. Still with us, yeah? Right, cool. Yeah, I'm from Bradford as well. I'm from Wyke, actually. Anyone know where Wyke is? Yeah. Got some Wyke in the house. Yeah. Did anybody get my message to bring out some food for my grandma's house? No? Oh, well, yeah. First off, you know, I've got to take my hat off to you. I'm going out, but you get the idea. Because I know firsthand what it's like to try and not necessarily break out of Bradford, because I love the place, but to try and become successful, not just in Bradford, but you know, like in London or all over the world. So the struggle is difficult, and you've also survived it. We're in London now, so you know, it's one more Bradfordian to take over the world. Yeah? Like, and not only that, you know, it's actually a newspaper, which, you know, that's a bit like, you know, I do magic and stuff, right, which is like visual and stuff, but this is actually kind of proper educational stuff. Yeah. It's the real stuff, it's the real deal here, you know, it's like, how many words is it? It's quite a lot, right? So, you know, it's not an easy thing to do, so I think another round of applause is just many people, when I said, you know, when I was younger, that I wanted to be a professional magician, just told me to get a proper job. My grandma's still telling me that. But, you know, thanks to all the support that I got in Bradford, because that's where I started doing all my tricks. You know, I was in the school playground doing magic, and the kids thought I was a freak. But then later on, I developed my skills and decided to take it to the people in Bradford Town Centre. Yeah, Centenary Square. Woo! You know that? I was doing magic in there and busking and making tips to get some food for me and my mum. And you know, it all kind of paid off, really. So I'm able to take my magic all over the world, and it's also in India now, and it's quite successful out there. So it's quite, you know, timing's worked quite well, because your magazine started in London, and my show is now, you know, getting out there into the Asian side of the world.
To India.
Yeah, well India. So I think together, you know, front cover is on the cards. Yeah. We'll share a cover. But yeah, I think just, you know, we should all just give a massive round of applause for Fatima. Sunday. I'm going to be reading it, definite. And shall we finish off with a trick? Yeah! I think you should be involved in this. I'm going to work on repairing your knee later. We're going to offer a method. But what I want you to do now is everyone just is really quiet. That's perfect. Fatima, I want you just to clear your mind.
That's hard. Okay.
Yeah, that was quicker than I expected. Very well done. Now just look at me. You're doing alright. Thank you. I want you to think of any playing card. Have you got one in mind? You haven't gone to an obvious one, have you? Like the Ace of Spades or something. If you have, change it to a more difficult one.
It's too good. Okay, I'm changing it now.
Okay, good. Alright, so look at me. Yeah, I think I know what it is. I'm just going to make a prediction. I'm going to turn one card over. made my prediction. I turned one card over in this pack. For the first time, name your card out loud.
6 of hearts.
The 6 of hearts. Let's take a look. Can you see these? Can you see these on the camera as well, yeah? Right, first I'm back here and hold these up so everyone can see them. Can everyone see the cards?
Yeah.
If I hold them up here, can you see them? Yeah? As you notice, there's one card there that I turned over. Can you see that?
Yeah.
It's the 6 of hearts. You see one more?
Yeah.
Right, this time everyone's got to get involved, bro. Yeah? I'll stand up on this chair, is that alright?
Yeah.
We say everyone, just do what I do. Put your hands in front of you like this. Point your thumbs towards the ground. Cross your hands over. Together. Squeeze really tight. Yeah? Everyone? It's easier while you're pointing your hand out. Head to the left. Do the other left. Then the right. Perfect. Now without letting go, just do this. Okay, just me, man. I'm done.
Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for Dynamo. Kimberly Walsh and Dynamo and Bill. You've given us such a warm welcome. May I now invite David Ward, Imran Hussain, Kimberly and Dynamo to obviously stand together for pictures for the camera. I believe that when Bradford Council found out that they were going to be awarding Dynamo, the trophies miraculously disappeared. But they're actually waiting for both Kimberly and Dynamo at the dinner that we have planned for the boat later. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, to Bradford Council, Imran Hussain, Executive Leader, David Ward, MP for Bradford East, Kimberly Walsh, and Dynamo.
Take your badge off. Take your badge off.
You make it clear. Just make it disappear.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you to Kimberly Walsh as well Dynamo. I'd also want to say thank you very much to all of you who have made it here, to the media. I know what it's like to be on the other side. So thank you very, very much for coming here and covering this event. Thank you for being patient with us. Thank you to all the parliamentarians, the Lords, MPs who have all been here. Unfortunately, they weren't all able to stay here for very long because I had meetings to attend later. But once again, thank you to all of those. Thank you to our event partner, British Airways, who have been absolutely amazing throughout the whole process of putting all our logistics together. If it wasn't for British Airways, I wouldn't have been able to have my guests from Bradford here. British Airways now fly Leeds, Bradford to London Heathrow. So if any of you fancy a trip to Bradford, you know that British Airways has a direct flight to Bradford, and my team and I will be there to welcome you. Trust me, it's an absolutely brilliant place. I want to thank the Bradford Council for all their support, for obviously being here today to help us do the honouring and to also help us and support us in the launch of our newspaper here in London. I'd also like to thank our PR company Canvas, Tony, who's been my rock every time I've had a tantrum. Tony's been on the other side before, and obviously been able to deal with me in the best way that he can. I also want to say thank you very much to Revolution, who are behind our sales and marketing for London. And once again, thank you so much for being here. I hope you've all had a great evening, and please look out for the Asian Sunday newspaper. We shall be hitting your stands on the 10th of November, 20 tube stations, to all the supermarkets, Morrison's, Asda, Tesco's, local businesses, and to selected homes directly through the letterbox. So look out for it. Thank you very much.